What up? This is Billy Niz with the Square Off TV on a beautiful Sunday. How's everybody doing? Anyways, UFC in Abu Dhabi 267 was last night. Glover Teixeira shocked the world and knocked out Polish power Jan Blachowicz. Well, he put him to sleep by submission. He didn't knock him out. He put him to sleep by submission. 42-year-old light heavyweight champion of the world. A story. If he retired, they would make a movie out of that. Like I said in a video before that. Before this. There was a few videos, but Corey Sandhagen lost to Peter Yan. So Peter Yan is the interim being the weight champion, and he lost it by disqualification, illegal knee to Aljamain Sterling, so they'll be fighting to unify the title somewhere in the future. And why I'm really doing this video, Khazmat Chimiev is a fucking animal. Nobody did last night? Okay. He was fighting a very dangerous knockout artist, brawler from China. His last name's Lee. I forget his first. I can't pronounce his first name. But his nickname's the Leech. It was supposed to be his biggest test yet, allegedly. He made it look like a cakewalk. But ended it in the first round very early. He noticed across the octagon, Dana White was, looking at his phone. So he carried the Leech across the whole octagon and yelled at Dana, "Hey, get off your phone. Watch this." Slams him. Slammed him and was beating the shit out of him. I tell you. And I guess he's getting the winner. This is what Dana White said. He's getting the winner of the Kamaru Usman-Colby Covington fight. That's very interesting. I was watching the Weasel. Shout out to the Weasel. I was watching him last night, and he did a breakdown of the fight. And Khazmat Chimiev has only been hit twice in 4 UFC fights. And all of his fights have ended in the first round. This dude's grappling is unfucking real. To take your biggest test yet, supposedly, and carry him across the cage like a toddler and say, "Hey, get off your phone," to the boss, Uncle Dana, and slam him. It was crazy to watch. It was fucking crazy, man. It was crazy. But he's getting the winner of Colby and Kamaru. Like, Anderson Silva became champion in his second fight in the UFC. Because when I was really into the UFC then. I didn't know about Pride at the time, right? And I knew of Chris Lieben. I didn't know as much as I know now. like in fighters in different organizations and stuff like that. So when I seen him, it was the Ultimate Fighter finale, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that Forrest Griffin and it was one of the no, it wasn't the Forrest Griffin finale. And Stephen Bonner, but it was one of the Ultimate Fighter finales, one of the earlier ones, the first couple. And I'm like, Chris Lieben's gonna fuck this guy up. Psh. Anderson Silva laced him with his hands and feet. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then he got a title shot. I was like, how the fuck is he getting a title shot? Like, because he beat Chris Lieben? Like, then when I see what he did to Rich Franklin, who was the current middleweight champion at the time, he fucking handled him like a fucking toddler. Hit him with the most vicious Muay Thai I have ever seen in my life. And he did it twice in a row. And now he's a Hall of Famer, considered the best striker to ever be in the UFC. That says a lot. And I watched a thing with his two sons, who were kickboxers, who will definitely be in the UFC or something. Definitely. They are just as fucking good. One fight, his first fight, I forget his first name, man. He's the younger brother, though. The older brother fights too, but it was the younger brother's first pro fight. And he went to go shake hand. He went to go tap gloves to be respectful because he's a true martial artist. The guy tried kicking him, like acting like he was gonna tap gloves, but threw a kick. He backed up, jumped off the ropes, flew right at him with a left kick right to the face, knocked him out. Done. 1-0 now. He's got reflexes like a cat. Anderson Silva said he's the better fighter out of both brothers, but they're both very good, very, very talented. That was unbelievable to see, too. So, whoever wins that fight out of Colby and I hope Colby wins. I really do. My heart is with Colby, but Kamaru seems like he's getting better and better each fight. His hand, like that Trevor Whitman, I can't express enough how bad that Trevor Whitman camp is. Then you got Justin Gaethje. This was I think, is this next week? Yeah, next week. Then you got Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. That is going to be bananas. I can't wait for that fight. It ain't going the distance. It can't. And it ain't going to the ground. In my opinion, I feel like if anybody's going to try to get it to the ground, it would be Chandler. And I'm fans of both fighters. So it's gonna be hard for me to I can't choose a favorite because both of them are unbelievable. That's gonna be unbelievable. And Khabib's little brother, adopted brother from another mother, Islam, is going to be fighting for the belt. 2, I think, or one more fight. He beat Dan Hooker in the first round. I think it was the first. Yeah, I think it was the first round. He's the real deal. Islam. Dude, these dudes from Dagestan and Russia, Ukraine, they are fucking animals, dog. They are animals. And last night I did a short on Glover Teixeira being the oldest fighter to win a title, and someone corrected me and said the second. And I was like, are you talking about Fedor winning the belt in Bellator? I don't really count that. I don't count that. A Russian reporter bring up Fedor to Dana White, and Dana White said something that I haven't heard. He said he actually kind of took a shot. He was like, Fedor turned down a deal with the UFC years ago that he probably still can't sleep at night about. He said it still probably keeps him up at night for turning it down. Because I guess he don't like Dana for some reason, because all he cares about is money. That man not only cares about money, came from my neighborhood, Southie, moved out to Las Vegas, made something of himself. Like, it's a business. It's the fight business. If you don't care about money either, fight for free. You wouldn't. Dana White said Fedor probably wouldn't be fighting. What he said, he wouldn't. It was the type of deal where he wouldn't have to fight. He wouldn't have had to fight last week. That's how much money they offered him, and he turned it down like an asshole. I just think he seen the competition and said no, because he was still undefeated at the time, and that's why I don't consider Fedor the best heavyweight of all time. I mean, he has beaten UFC fighters and other organizations when they were on top, but it was years later, like after their primes. You got no points for that from me. That's why I don't consider Fedor the best heavyweight of all time. Yeah, he did great in Pride and all the other organizations. But if you haven't tested, the UFC runs, it's the WWE of MMA. How the WWE runs wrestling, that's the UFC for MMA. If you haven't tested your mettle in that, and you had the chance to, and he probably got offered a contract that was more money than everybody else's too. It was probably a contract that would have made the other heavyweights jealous. I don't think Fedor would beat Brock Lesnar. No way. Or Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos, Andre I know he knocked out Arlovsky, but in his prime, who knows? But no. Frank Mir in his prime. He lost his first fight to a Bigfoot Silva. No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. His first fight to a Fabricio Verdum, that was let go by the UFC at the time for losing like 4 fights in a row or some shit like that. 3 or 4 fights in a row. Got caught in a triangle. Then Dan Henderson knocked him out. Then Bigfoot Silva beat him, if I'm not mistaken. Then he loses to Matt Mitrione by knockout. Ryan Bader by knockout. Who were let go by the UFC. So, what that tells me is he was afraid to take that fucking first loss in the UFC. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I'm Billy Niz, the fearless leader and president of the Square Off TV, and I'm off this. Peace.